Ladies, these 4 kiss spots can make a man crazy on you deeply in the way you can't believe. Women over 60, let me tell you a simple truth. A man may try to act strong, but there are 4 places your kiss can completely disarm him. These aren't the flashy gestures from movies, and they have nothing to do with playing games. They're about connection, about reaching the parts of him that no years, no wrinkles, no defenses can hide. I've spent decades observing relationships, listening to the quiet confessions men rarely admit out loud, and I can assure you of this: a kiss in the right place can reveal more about love, loyalty, and desire than any promise ever spoken. Hi, welcome back to Journey After 60. Today, I'm going to share 4 places he can't resist your kiss, especially after 60, so you'll never again underestimate the quiet power you hold. And let me be clear, what I've shared here isn't about sex, nor about physical intimacy in the shallow sense. It's about something deeper, something that outlasts time, the quiet, unshakable connection between 2 souls who have walked through life and still choose tenderness. But before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Journey After 60. Not just as a favor to me, but as a gift to yourself. Because every week I bring you truths and insights that make love, life, and aging feel lighter, wiser, and far less lonely. Now, let's begin with the very first place a man can't resist your kiss. At first, it may seem almost too simple, the kind of place most women overlook because it doesn't feel dramatic or romantic enough. But the truth is, this one spot speaks directly to his sense of comfort and safety, and that makes it more powerful than you might imagine. Number 1. His forehead. By the time a woman reaches her 60s, she understands that intimacy isn't built on grand gestures, but on quiet moments that carry meaning. And few gestures speak more softly, yet more powerfully, than a kiss on a man's forehead. As the philosopher Seneca once wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." A kiss on the cheek embodies that wisdom perfectly. It doesn't reach for passion that fades or promises that may never come. It roots you both in the simple joy of now. And for a man past 60, that reminder that he is loved in this very moment can be more powerful than anything else you could give him. At first, it might seem ordinary, almost parental even, but the truth is, a forehead kiss does what words often can't. It tells him, without a sound, that he is safe, cared for, and deeply respected. For many men, especially as they age, that sense of safety is rare. The world demands toughness, silence, and stoicism from them. A kiss on the forehead gently unravels those layers. What makes this kiss irresistible isn't passion, but recognition. It tells a man, "I see you, not just your strength, but your vulnerability too." And no matter how old he is, that message cuts through the armor he's worn for decades. It reminds him that in your presence, he doesn't have to perform. He can simply be. For women over 60, this truth matters even more. Because love at this stage isn't about proving youth or keeping pace with fantasy. It's about offering something most men have quietly longed for their whole lives: a tenderness that doesn't demand, a closeness that doesn't wound. A kiss on the forehead isn't small at all. It's a silent promise that says, "Here, you are safe." And for a man, that is a kind of intimacy he cannot resist. But there's another place, far less obvious, where your kiss doesn't just comfort him. It awakens a spark he thought had long faded. And when you learn where that is, you'll see desire and connection in his eyes in a way that feels timeless. Number 2. His hands. I've often said, if you want to know a man's story, don't just look into his eyes. Look at his hands. They carry decades of work, of holding, of letting go. And when you place your lips there, on the lines and scars time has drawn, something remarkable happens. He feels honored in a way he never expects. Unlike a kiss on the forehead, which speaks of safety, a kiss on the hands speaks of recognition. It tells him, "I see what you've built, what you've carried, and what you've endured." For many men over 60, these hands have labored, protected, and sometimes failed, but rarely have they been cherished. That's why your kiss there lands with such force. To him, it isn't just affection, it's respect wrapped in tenderness. And respect, especially in later years, means far more to a man than admiration ever did in his youth. A kiss on the hands reaches into that quiet place inside him where he wonders if his efforts have truly mattered. Your touch answers, yes, they did. And let me tell you, that's a kind of intimacy no man can resist. Because beyond passion, what men crave, though they seldom admit it, is to be valued not for what they can still achieve, but for what they have already given. So when you kiss his hands, you're not just kissing skin, you're embracing his years, his strength, his sacrifices. And in that moment, he feels something he may not have felt in a long time, deeply appreciated. If this part resonated with you, don't just let it slip away. Hit the save button on this video, because just like those hands carry a lifetime of stories, you'll want to carry this reminder with you, to return to it whenever you forget just how much your small gestures can mean. But appreciation alone isn't the whole story. There's another place where your kiss does more than honor his past, it ignites his present. And when you discover it, you'll see him awaken with a spark that feels anything but old. Number 3. His shoulder. Most people think desire only lives in obvious places, but the truth is, intimacy often hides in the ordinary. A kiss on a man's shoulder may seem small, almost casual, yet it carries a weight that no man over 60 can resist. It's something I've witnessed countless times in my own home. For as long as I can remember, my mother has had this quiet habit. Whenever my father sat down after a long day, she would lean over and place a gentle kiss on his shoulder. It wasn't about romance in the way the world defines it. It was about care, about saying without words, "I see how much you've carried, and I honor it." Year after year, that simple act softened him, steadied him, and reminded all of us watching that love isn't proven through grand gestures, but through small rituals of tenderness that endure across decades. Because a man's shoulders have always been a symbol of what he offers, the work he's done, the burdens he's carried, the strength he's shown. For decades, those shoulders bore responsibility, sometimes silently and often without thanks. When you lean in and kiss him there, it tells him something he rarely hears. You don't have to carry it all alone anymore. This isn't about seduction in the way people expect. It's about recognition. You're kissing not just the man, but the life behind him. The long days, the sacrifices, the silent struggles. And that recognition lands deeper than any grand romantic gesture. For women past 60, this matters, because what men long for at this age isn't performance or flattery. It's the relief of knowing their strength is seen and their weariness understood. A kiss on the shoulder delivers that message without a single word. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever shared or witnessed a simple gesture, like a kiss on the shoulder, that carried more meaning than words? Drop your story in the comments, because your experience might remind someone else that the smallest acts of love can be the most powerful. So yes, a kiss on the shoulder can ease the weight of his years and remind him he's no longer alone in carrying life's burdens. But tenderness alone isn't the full story, because there are places where your kiss doesn't just comfort him, it stirs something far more alive, a spark of pride and joy that comfort by itself could never awaken. Number 4. His cheek. Some women dismiss a kiss on the cheek as something too polite, too ordinary, a gesture reserved for greetings, not intimacy. But let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. For a man over 60, a kiss on the cheek carries a meaning that time only deepens. It reassures him that he is still cherished, still seen with affection beyond words. From my own research over the years, I found something fascinating. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships reported that nearly 74% of men over 55 said that small gestures of affection, like a kiss on the cheek, made them feel more valued in their relationships than grand romantic displays. And in interviews I conducted, many men admitted they didn't realize how deeply they longed for this kind of tenderness until they experienced it. By this age, a man has lived through decades of proving himself as a worker, a father, a provider. Those roles often demanded toughness, even distance. But a kiss on the cheek? It cuts through all of that. It tells him he doesn't have to be impressive. He doesn't have to be strong. He only has to be loved. Many men secretly long for that softness. They might never ask for it because society told them long ago to be stoic, unyielding, and unemotional. But when your lips brush his cheek, you give him permission to let go of that mask, even for just a moment. That's why it feels irresistible, because you're not just touching his skin, you're touching the part of him that's been starved for gentleness. It means that intimacy isn't about keeping up with youthful games or grand displays of passion. It's about reminding each other that at the end of everything, what matters most is kindness. A kiss on the cheek delivers that reminder in the simplest yet most enduring way. So now, let's bring it all together. In this final part, I'll share the deeper message these 4 places reveal, A message that goes far beyond romance and into the heart of what love after 60 is really about. At the end of these 4 places, the message is clear. Love after 60 is not about proving youth or chasing passion, but about cherishing connection in its simplest, most enduring forms. A kiss on the forehead, the hands, the shoulder, the cheek, and beyond. Each one is a reminder that intimacy lives not in grand displays, but in the quiet ways we honor one another's humanity. The true gift of these gestures is this: they remind both of you that love in later life is less about fire and more about warmth, less about performance and more about presence. As Rumi once said, the soul has been given its own ears to hear things the mind does not understand. And often, it is through these gentle kisses that the soul feels most deeply understood. So if this video spoke to your heart, take a moment to like it, subscribe to Journey After 60, and save it, so these reminders stay close whenever you need them. And I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Which of these small gestures has meant the most in your own journey of love? Thanks for watching till now, and see you in next video.